Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Fridays podcast. Did I know when I woke up this morning that Roe vs. Wade was going to be overturned? No, I didn't. I thought, no way would our Supreme Court decide, you know what? Of all days of the week, I'm going to make sure this ruling comes out on a Friday so our mostly peaceful, are people that we should bail out because they're good people on the inside. They should be allowed to riot and protest and do all the things they want to do. I couldn't believe it came out today. Somebody like myself who is very pro-life, I thought, wow, this is amazing. I thought it was incredible. I almost cried. I thought it was great. I thought it was huge. But also remember that this goes down to states now. So if you're in California, you can still get an abortion. I have a lot of liberal friends that aren't really understanding that. They're like, Derek, this goes against every woman's right. You know what? I always love how they completely discredit women who are pro-life in this equation. Those people aren't real. They're not real women. It's kind of like black people who vote Republican. They're not really black, if you know what I mean. We live in a very tumultuous society, and Democrats are loving this because now they have something to talk about, because we've been talking about how terrible Biden has been running the economy. I've seen people like Dave Portnoy put out statements like, oh crap, this means Republicans are going to lose in the upcoming majority. I don't care. I care more about those aborted fetuses that deserve to have as much of a chance to live as you and me do. What we have going on today is this, though, as well, now that Roe vs. Wade is overturned, as we have 13 states enacted triggering laws making it illegal for abortions. These states are as follows: Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, South Dakota, North Dakota, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, Arkansas. Those states have decided you cannot get an abortion here, which is, I never would have thought in my lifetime that I would wake up to this kind of news today. Other states are still deciding whether to impose, like places like South Carolina are trying to decide if they want to enact, you can make it illegal to have abortions after 6 weeks and stuff like that. There are still other states, but the states in red have made it completely illegal for abortions. And because of that, Democrats everywhere are essentially doing this. Losing their minds, as we can go to CNN, and CNN is crying on air about this.
Just help folks who are at home understand how broad this goes.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaking betrayal of half of the country. Sorry, I'm getting, watching the women there. It's emotional.
I'm faking
it's a real
it.
problem. People are talking about.
I'm getting emotional. I'm faking it live on air because I need to show everyone how serious I am. Just like Ben Stiller going to Ukraine. Oh, wait a minute. We don't care about Ukraine anymore, right? This is the new thing. Thank God we have something new to talk about, because I didn't want to talk about all the crap that Joe Biden's doing. Second-class citizen, they're trying to claim themselves to be. Always goes into the argument of women's rights and never the baby's rights. Abortion on demand, and here we have a child holding up an abortion sign, which is just crazy in my eyes. We have the pro-life people loving it, but here's where I enjoy life. Here's where I get excited about doing what I do on YouTube. Some of our celebrities decided that they need to have their moment too, and I love it. Amy Schumer, are you ready to fight back when Roe is overturned? Insurrection? Marty G. Cummings says 3 Supreme Court justices were just placed on the bench by a twice impeached president, who should be in jail, by the way, who did not win the popular vote, which again doesn't matter, and they totally want that be the only way that presidents are elected, which is just crazy to me because it's, I thought we were a union or whatever. And who led an insurrection. Our democracy is crumbling before our eyes. Wake up, fight back, no justice, no peace. Then we have Rob Reiner saying women have no right to make their own reproductive health decisions. What about the baby's right? No thanks. Separation of church and state is being obliterated. I know people who are atheists who are also pro-life because they see it as a moral issue, but we can't Those people aren't real. It's just Catholics. That's it. No other denomination, no other religion is pro-life, and we know that because we're celebrities. Everyone has the right to carry a concealed firearm while being tyrannicized by an autocratic minority. Bette Midler comes out. They did it. They did it to us. SCOTUS has overturned Roe versus Wade, enshrined in the Constitution as settled law for over 50 years. How dare they? This SCOTUS is actually tone deaf to the will and even the actual needs of the American people. Wake up. Bette Midler didn't come out and says, get ready, gays. You're next. Why? Because the government shouldn't have their hands in marriage? I don't know. Obviously, that's an attack on only the gays. Patton Oswalt says, the dude who cried about beer on TV has made a big decision about your life, ladies. Ellen says, throughout history, women haven't been trusted not to vote or to decide who to marry, and now to make their own decisions about their bodies. But you can trust we will not let this stand, and we will be heard, and we will give the rights. We will get the rights we deserve. Uzo Ubuta says, just spoke to a teacher of mine from high school. She said, first we cry, then we fight. I hate fake emotion. It's literally my least favorite thing in the world. Taylor Swift. Oh no, not Tay-Tay. I'm absolutely terrified that this is where we are. That after many decades of people fighting for women's rights to their own bodies, decision has been stripped of us all. I should have a decision whether to murder a child or not. Michelle Obama, my thoughts on the Supreme Court over Roe versus Wade. Michelle, no one cares. You weren't elected, just so you know. I know Democrats like to pretend like you're basically Obama in disguise, but you weren't elected. So sit this one out. Alyssa Milano, who's one of my favorite over-the-top people. If abortion is banned nationwide, pregnancy-related deaths could increase by 21% nationwide. I don't know where this study is from, but I'm just going to put this in a tweet. And 33% among black women. Banning abortion will disproportionately impact people of color. Yeah, because people that created Planned Parenthood did it for that reason alone, but let's not get into the history. We don't like history, right, Democrats? Because then it makes us look like KKK members. LGBTQ plus communities will be struggling to make ends meet. Young people and those living in rural areas. Dave Portnoy said this.
Okay, emergency press conference. Roe versus Wade just got overturned. Let me start by saying this is a Dave Portnoy press conference. This doesn't reflect Barstool, all right? Barstool is 300 whatever people. They all may think certain ways. This is just me, how I feel. I feel like I have to speak on this issue. I already talked about.
Why? Because you're a white male. Continue.
A little bit. To me, this is just pure insanity. Pure insanity. We are going backwards in time.
Yes, we need to go forwards. We need to push for murdering children.
We are literally going backwards in time. It makes
we went back to a time when we saw babies and being pregnant as a human being being born.
No sense how anybody thinks it's their right to tell a woman what to do with her body. I just don't get it. To take away the ability to make informed decisions on how they want to live their lives is bananas. I know people will be like, well, no, it's a constitutional issue. They're just giving it to the states. Well, like what, 20 states are saying they're going to overturn it right away? And what if you're
13?
Poor in that state and you can't go to another state and things like that? It's just nuts to me. Not to mention the same people.
I don't know if people know this as well. I feel like me as a responsible adult need to tell you, you can wear condoms. Okay? You can wear condoms. You can take birth control. You can also just, not have sex, or you can give your baby up for adoption. I mean, there's so many options. But for them, this feels like this is the hill in which to die on. It's just, if this was purely a discussion about a woman's right to have breast enlargements or that only affects their own body, then I can understand this argument. But the fact that it doesn't just affect their body, it affects another body within their body, that's where we have a discussion. And it always boils down to, is it a human being within the woman's body? And I would say yes. And so therefore, more morally, I have to look at it in the way of murder. I can't have the discussion. I can't expertly argue myself out of that mentally without acknowledging that there's a baby within that woman. You always have an opportunity to kill something, but it doesn't make you live without consequences. And so this is a moral issue of humanhood and personhood and what constitutes a person and what constitutes a human. And should that baby receive just as many rights as the woman who has apparently all the rights in the world, whether to take you out or let you live? We have an obsession in our culture today of not taking accountability for the things that we create in our own life. And this is a perfect example of it. It's not my fault that I'm having sex and not using birth preventing measures, if you will, that I should be able to get an abortion. If I go to college, I don't want to pay for college. I should be able to abort my loans. If I go to jail for these certain things, I should be able to not have to serve. Let's look at Paul Pelosi. Look at Jeffrey Epstein. We have an obsession in this culture with not wanting to grow up as well. We all want to stay young adults forever. We don't want to take on responsibility. And the biggest responsibility in the world is bringing a child into this world and taking care of it because, well, it consumes your life for a minimum 18 years. And that's hard. That's tough, especially when there's so many fun video games to play. Especially when there's so many fun TV shows to binge watch. There's so many fun movies to binge watch. But if someone like me who's a libertarian mindset, and you would say, Derek, well then why do you should be for abortion because you believe in freedom. But the idea that I believe in freedom so much so that it negates moral responsibility. Like, I don't believe that everyone should be allowed to go murder people. I don't think that's a libertarian mindset. That's a very anarchist mindset. I've always struggled with the idea that because of the decisions of a parent or the people a part of the sexual act, therefore the baby in which they bring into the world has no opinion for themselves and isn't allowed to voice their own opinion, isn't allowed to say, I want to live too, or I want to do this. Even the argument of saying that abortion is safe. Safe for who? Not for the baby. So I can't morally accept abortion as a woman's right without including a baby's right within that same sentence. I can't do it. I can't logically come to that conclusion, and I can't willfully come to that conclusion. It's the same way if a baby is born with defects or whatever have you. I can't logically come to the conclusion saying, well, that baby's life isn't going to have a meaningful life, so therefore we should kill it. We should let it go because it's going to be a hard life anyways, and that's what's better for the baby. I can't make that decision. And I don't know how people can without like a nihilistic kind of mindset of like life is meaningless, only death has purpose. Like, I can't come to that conclusion. And so I'm sorry if that offends you or if it freaks you out or if it makes you want to leave my channel or not want to follow me anymore, but I can't do it. I won't do it. I ultimately want the freedoms of individuals and for you and I to have the right to live. But that doesn't mean that if my grandfather is filled with cancer and I have an opportunity to take him out just so he doesn't have to suffer because life is hard, I'm not going to do it. I can't morally come to that the conclusion. And I don't know how you can if you are in that camp. It's like, if the fetus can't be viable outside the womb, how can we constitute it as a human? Well, I know a lot of people who aren't really viable people without a lot of medical procedures holding them up, or medications or machines or the help of others in order to live. Like, those people, you can't put those people in the same boat, right? So look, this is a very divisive issue, and I like this because it goes in the step more giving the states the rights of power, and gives the freedom back to the children who were going to be aborted. And I care more about that than you are my comfortability. I think we're obsessed with comfortability too much in our culture anyways. So, and I think that there was a time in my life where I was okay with comfortability and wanted people to be for that and But I'm seeing that in today's culture. I think it just makes us have more higher depression rates, more anxiety, more confusion in a lot of things because we're so obsessed with ourselves and so obsessed with our own comfortability that taking on another human life or working out or doing strenuous things is too much for the average human being to do. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. I hope it doesn't, I hope your city isn't destroyed. I hope my city's not destroyed. And I hope we just have funny videos to laugh at after this. But huge day. I honestly never thought this day was going to come. When I heard the news, I fell to my knees and cried a little bit. I'm so tired of having this conversation with people, and the fact that this has happened is incredible. But again, if you live in California, if you live in Colorado, you live in New Mexico, North Carolina, Illinois, you're going to have abortions. You're going to have them all you want. In fact, you're going to become an abortion state, probably. People will have vacations to get abortions. So, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of grants given to poor women and stuff like that. So this idea that it's like going to stop abortions is ridiculous. It just makes people, which has always been the case, it should make you think twice before you move somewhere. If you are completely against abortion, move to some of these red states, the ones in this picture behind me, because your tax dollars doesn't go to fund abortions. And that's something to think about. Hope you guys have a freaking great day. If you want to support my channel, go to buymeacoffee.com/DerekO'Shea Show. I'd greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys have a great day. I'm going to have some, I was going to put out my video I've been working on about how to fix the economy. But this news was too big. No one's talking about the economy today. Everyone's talking about this. So let me know your thoughts on this. As always, I'm okay with you having a different opinion than me. That's what this show should be about. I get too many people that are like, hey, I don't agree with your opinion. I'm not going to listen to you anymore. I'm like, really? You only listen to people that you agree with? Sad way to live. That's part of our culture too. That's some of the comfortability that we're talking about. We don't want to be out of our comfort zone listening to people that we disagree with. I hope you have a great day. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. Share this on all social media platforms. Tell them about the Derek O'Shea Show. Give a thumbs up, comment, write it below, whatever. But look after yourself this weekend. All right? Love you. Bye.